Do you want to do it?
Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. Tonight, at the Tampa Bay chapter, we will talk about sharpening your soul with Esther Folorunso. But before I go further, let me introduce myself. My name is Kasi Agbemadin, and I have the ECBA and ACC. I joined the Tampa Bay chapter um, as a mentee, met Thea online, and I later on volunteered. And today I'm the VP of Technology for the Tampa Bay IIBA chapter. And my role is to support the chapter uh, in any sense of technology and tools. What are the benefits of joining the IIBA? The IIBA is the International Institution of Business Analysis. It helps multiple business analysis and professionals around the world. It is a professional association with over 30,000 members and 120 chapters across the globe. It also helps networking and community engagement. Benefit of joining the IIBA, professional development and related materials chapters. We provide training around the world, network opportunity, and they have discount on global certification such as the ACC, the CBAP, or the ECBA. The Tampa Bay IIBA is have many members across the world, and you don't have to be in Tampa to be a member of our chapter. We have participants in the United States, Colombia, and even Nigeria. If you don't have a chapter, the Tampa Bay IFBA can be your chapter. What our vision and mission? Well, the Tampa Bay IBA is building a thriving community to empower business analysts like you. We are here to serve you, and we do multiple events every week to make sure we serve you. We have a weekly BA masterclass. This is the meeting you are attending now, and we also have a CBAP test prep that is running from February until September, and we also have an upcoming CDLC experience workshop. Please visit our calendar at our website at tampabayiba.org to be updated. Visit our YouTube channel when you can have all of the recording of our classes and event, and also get the index at Bob Amazing Index. It has everything that you need to find exactly what you need. We are here to serve you, and all that help us to have the 2025 Professional Development Award. And that's thanks to all of you. This is our board. All those people use their time and talent every day to make this happen. And we are really grateful to have all of them. We currently have two CBAP test prep course going on for 7 months. And the first one run just after this meeting every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And the second one runs on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. If you are still interested to join the class, please reach out to Thea. This is our wall of certification. Those are the folks that reach out to us to let us know that our training helped them gain their certification and, more importantly, become a better BA. And most of them are now leading a different chapter or are now helping other BAs to become better as well. We have a new release for the business analysis book. This new edition has two more industry that was put together by a member of many members of our chapter, and also that can be used for case studies. If you don't get your copy yet, it is available on Amazon. Go get yours. Meet our partners, and the first partners that we have is you. Thank you for joining us today. And our goal, once again, is to serve you. So we really want to take a second and say thank you. Meet our partners. We partner with different chapters across the globe um, to really serve you. We have partners with our Bluegrass chapter, and we have collaborated with different chapters across the globe. We partner also with different international organizations, such as the Tampa Bay Women in Agile or the PMI Tampa Bay Suncoast. We also partner with some training organization, and the one that we highlight today will be the Watermark Learning, as we use them a lot as part of our CIBA prep test. But feel free to check out Soft Ed or any of these. Purdue University, we also have a very high collaboration with Purdue at the moment, and thanks to Esther that is coordinating everything. Many of the speakers uh, are from this chapter, and they have shared their knowledge during different meetings. So thank you, Esther. So those are all of the sessions that happen, and you might see names or faces that you recognize. Thank you for helping collaborating on this project. The Watermark Learning is giving you a discount just because you are part of our chapter. And, and the code for that discount is Tampa Bay 21. If you are preparing any of the main exam, the ECBA, the ECC, and the CBAP, you might want to use that to further your learning. Adaptive US also is another organization that give you a 20% discount on all of their material except the exam fees. And they have a solid policy, 100 pass or 100% refund. And they will even pay you to take it a second time if you do not succeed. Coming up, on May 21st, we will have the gap between insight and outcome with Ayokumi Sodamola. So join us for that event. On Saturday, May 30th, this is actually a 7 hours workshop with David around business process modeling. As a BA, this is probably one of the technique that is used across different industry. So if you are interested, please sign up and join that event. On June 4th, we will have AI that augment, not replace. Responsible adoption in the world that can opt out with Ignace Mba. The following week, we will be with Sophie around human-centered AI and transforming conversational data into meaningful insight. And then on June 18, we will discuss with Joel around give feedback that inspire action, not resistance. On June 25, we will talk with Thea around stakeholder management practice for better project outcome. On August 13, we will have a connection meeting with few recruiters across the globe, where we will discuss around what the industry are looking for when they are hiring BAs, and they may also answer all of the questions you may have. Please join us on our LinkedIn channel if you are not following us already, as we will share update of our upcoming event, and we will also share event that you might be interested in. Our YouTube channel, as highlighted before, also have a great repository of our videos and training, and a lot of people actually use those recordings to pass their exam. So you might want to check that out. Now to our presentation. Back to you, Esther.
Thank you very much, Kosi. Thank you so much. That was amazing and a job well done. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see us again. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago we had the BA games. Now we're still having the BA games today. It's just taking another dimension. What we'll call sharpening the saw or sharpening your saw. Um, we know that saws are like work tools. They're it's more like a farmer going to a farm and you don't see his hoe, you don't see his cutlass. Well, that's strange. What's he gonna use to work? So I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Is my screen visible? All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. As usual, we're going to be using our very good friend called Mentimeter. By now, everybody, maybe if you see me, just expect that, oh, there might be something related or relating to Mentimeter that we're going to do. So, while you're here, please scan the QR code. I'm also going to put the link. If the QR code, scanning the QR code doesn't work, that's the link to the Menti. I'm putting it in the chat. That link is available for us. I haven't started the presentation yet, but we're just having it. And please, just in case you get in, please and please do not answer any of the questions until we get there or until we start working on the questions together as a team. So, what are we looking at today? The first set of questions that we're going to be dealing with are would be like a check-in and self-awareness. We are business analysts. Either we have a couple of us that are just starting as business analysts. We have a couple of us that have been in the industry for quite a number of years. We have some people that have over 20 years experience, but the fact that you have multiple years of experience doesn't mean that we thank you. I sent the link to a direct person. That was my mistake. All right. The fact that we have multiple years of experience doesn't mean that we shouldn't be sharpened. We shouldn't develop ourselves. Um, Professional development, self development is very important. And it's one of the things we always encourage as business analysts. So, one important thing is the fact that um, we're expected to learn, take learning very, very serious, very important. So we're going to start with this. Oh, I'm already getting responses. In one word, just describe the current state of your professional growth as a business analyst. Do you call yourself an expert? Um, the state of your professional growth. I'm learning. I don't seem to understand all I've possibly been learning. Someone says explosive. Someone says intermediate. Interesting. Okay. So I'm waiting for more responses. Thank you. Always learning. Good. Another person says expansive. Good. So that you can also see what people are posting. Jack of all trades. Amazing.
It wouldn't let
Okay.
me type it all in one place. Usually it's jack of all trades, master of none. Made me separate
Well,
it.
it has word count, possibly. Thank you so much. Challenged, good, explosive, exploratory, master of none. Okay. Thank you. Still waiting for more responses. Everyone, please just do something. And I can assure you you're gonna love this. Um, that's great. Overwhelmed. I agree it can be overwhelming. We're in a space where we have multiple training programs, multiple training resources, so many people speaking, so many manuals, so many conferences. How do we navigate through the maze as business analysts? At some point it actually gets overwhelming. At some point when you see people doing something that you love to do, or maybe even as a business analyst you're like, I should be able to do this thing but I'm not doing it. And some people even have imposter syndrome. Like different things just happen to make you question your level of growth. One thing I just want to let you know as a business analyst is that you are not alone. But it is your responsibility to sharpen your sword. It is your responsibility to develop. The world, the business environment is changing every single day. It is dynamic and we have to flow. So, yes, it might get challenging. We might struggle. We might get overwhelmed, but let's still sharpen our saws. So, thank you very much. Let's now move to the second question. Thank you for your responses. Now, our second question says, we know, like with this, sharpening your saw actually means we're pausing to reflect, to refine, and invest in our level of growth as business analysts. We're not just staying busy, we're actually refining, investing in ourselves. So, on a scale of 1 to 4, how intentionally are you investing in your professional growth right now? The fact that you're even here this evening, joining this session, it gives a level of investment. It's a level of investment. The fact that maybe you join like every week, it's a level of investment. So, how intentionally are you investing in your professional growth right now?
Esther, I want to note that heavily invested is a 1, not a 4.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
As long as
Thank
we
you.
know
So
the
we'll just
scale.
follow it. Yeah, thank you. We'll just follow it based off the what's it called now? The wordings, please. I think that mistake would also be in some other slides. Thank you. So,
Thank
heavily invested, yeah. Some people are investing gradually. Good. The truth is, we have people that are also interested, but they have no idea what steps to take. Whether we like it or not, the business analysis field is filled with a lot of information. At some point, if you're not careful, you're going to have there's TMI, too much information. How do you navigate that maze? How do you navigate the overload of information? You're not alone. There are people where you are as business analysts. So the fact that maybe you see, oh, my score is low, it's not a failure. That's the exact reason why we're here tonight. We're acknowledging the honesty that it takes for us to score honestly. So it's not like we're saying, oh, if you pick this, it means you're doing badly or something, but we're just understanding that um personally and where we are. So thank you very much for those responses. Let's move to the next question. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. In a typical work week, now this is us understanding where does our time actually go. Our time management is key as well as business analysts. So in a typical work week, how much time do you spend on deliberate professional improvement, learning, reflecting, upskilling? How much time do you actually spend? And don't, this is just like the introduction reflecting. We're still going to go deep into some Babok version 3 questions. So those of you on this call that already have or are preparing for the CBAP or the ECBA, I'm going to need you to put on your hats and your caps to show that, oh, we've been learning this past few weeks. In fact, maybe those are the people that should answer the next set of questions. So, in a typical work week, how much time do you spend? Some people spend 1 to 2 hours, which is good. Some spend 3+ hours, 30 minutes to 1 hour. The truth is, again, the quality of time, the quantity of time you spend matters, but the quality matters more. If you spend 30 minutes reading something, re strategizing, reflecting on the lessons that you learned or you need to adopt or things you need to change, and you spend those 30 minutes quality and you can go back. And with those 30 minutes you've spent, you already know what your flaws are, what you need to work on. That's 30 minutes well spent. Compared to people that sit in 3 hour lectures and don't even hear a thing. Some people sit through 1 hour lectures and they're pressing their phones. They're not even focused on what the seminar is on. They're just there to while away time. So if it's 30 minutes well spent and you understand why you're in that session or while you're deliberately improving yourself, that's 30 minutes well spent. So some people spend 3+ hours, and there are people that protect that time because if you're in some industries that, like maybe the AI we know is it changes. Like there are a ton of things coming up. You need to be on top of your game. So in that particular scenario, I wouldn't even blame somebody that spends 3+ hours or even 4+ hours. People are different. Thank you very much for that. And we're going to move to the next set of questions. Now, this section is what I would call the BA Knowledge Plus. It's structured around the Babel Guide. Now, don't be scared.
Hmm.
Is there anyone getting scared here? Okay. A question. If you know that you are in Thea's CBAP class, either the Thursday class or the Saturday class, can you just give me a wave? Like, just wave. Oh, I don't want the instructor, please. Thank you. I want the students. You are in Thea's class. Don't be shy. We trust you. They're not saying a word. Well, I have the names, but I think I'll just protect it. So let's go to our question. It says the Babok version 3 identifies. All right, 7 players are ready. Okay. The Babok identifies 50+ techniques. Choosing the right one for a situation is a core analysis skill. Now, this is the question. A stakeholder cannot articulate their needs, but can describe their daily workflow in detail. Which elicitation technique is most appropriate? They cannot articulate their needs, but they can describe their daily workflow in detail. They find it difficult to communicate what they actually want. So which elicitation technique is most appropriate? They can tell you this is what I do, but if you tell them, oh, what do you actually do in this format or this, they might not be able to tell you, but they can just ramble and tell you, oh, I can do this. This is what I do day to day. I get into the office at 8 o'clock. I do this. I set this. I do this calendar and all that. So what technique is most appropriate? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I need more answers. I'm getting my answers though, but I need more answers.
So even if you're not in my class, please do answer.
Yep. Please, no, please definitely answer. So a stakeholder cannot articulate their needs, but they can describe their daily workflow in detail. Which elicitation technique is most appropriate? All right, I am going to show you the leaderboard. Don't be scared, by the way. But we had Sandy with 926 points. You can keep your points. Thank you. Bill, all right. These are the people that answered. So I need more people to please respond. But thank you very much. Now, for that particular question, the correct answer is actually observation, job shadowing. Now, the truth is, there are some people that find it difficult to verbalize some things. But when you shadow them, you get to see what they do. It doesn't mean that it's a defect. It might be a defect. It might not be a defect. But the best bet is just to shadow them to see what they actually do. And while shadowing them, observations, you're going to see things that, like, real reality in action, things that are actually happening. You get to see the current state. And after that, you're now asking questions. If you pair it up with follow-up interviews, you're now asking questions based on the processes that you have observed. So that particular tactic or technique is usually very, very helpful. Thank you very much. Now, the next question says, the Babok highlights that undocumented assumptions are one of the leading causes of requirement failure. Which of the following best describes how a BA should treat assumptions during requirements development? Do you assume and proceed? You document later if challenged? Do you treat all assumptions as confirmed requirements? Do you log, explicitly state and validate assumptions with your stakeholders? Or do you avoid making assumptions by asking every question upfront? Okay, I am getting my answers. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, once we wrap up with the quiz, the next segment after this is going to be interactive. So once we look at a question together, we're going to have that conversation where you let us know how things work in your world as a BA. So which of the following best describes how a BA should treat assumptions? Do you assume and proceed and document later if challenged? Do you treat all assumptions as confirmed requirements? I want to ask a question, and maybe because I'm actually not seeing anybody pick option D, and I think I want to know why. So if you want to, it locked up? That's weird. Are you the only one having that challenge? Is any other person able to work on the Mentimeter?
I am.
Oh my.
Just telling me I didn't respond in time.
Yeah, and for the quizzes, you need to respond in time, like quickly. I think you have about 15 or how many seconds? Yeah. So let's look at it, the question on the board. So I have people actually selecting C, that's to log, explicitly state, and validate assumptions with stakeholders. So I want to ask, what do we think is the best? Let me throw that question open. If you want to unmute, anyone wants to unmute and give me.
If it isn't written, it didn't happen. So
Okay.
you need to get it written down so that you can confirm, look for inconsistencies, just anything related to that. You need to have it in a way you can find it again.
Okay. Thank you very much, Carol.
People
Anyone
naturally
else?
have assumptions and they don't even know that they have assumptions. So it's not you having the assumption. That's why I don't think D is the correct answer.
Okay. But you can avoid making assumptions by asking every question upfront. Is it possible to ask every question upfront?
No, you don't know what you don't know.
Good point.
Exactly. So I like something Carol said. If it's not written, like documentation is key. One of our superpowers is our ability to document. Please and please and please, if you want to have a very important saw as a business analyst, please let your documentation skills be top notch. Please let your documentation skills be top notch. It is very, very, very important. Sadly, that's why some people call BAs note takers. We're not note takers. It's not like
We're so much more.
secretaries that just write down minutes of meetings. No, it's part of documentation. If it was said, it needs to be documented, because if it's not documented, there's no evidence and all that. So we need to have our documentation skills top notch. So,
Which is why I always double check even the AI generated documentation. The number of things that
exactly,
they get just enough off is frightening still.
exactly. So, another question I'll just throw is this. Oh, someone said I recommend raid logs. How do you think we can improve our documentation skills as business analysts? I throw that question out. Is there anyone that wants to give us a recommendation? How do you think we can improve our documentation skills without the use of AI tools? How do you think we can build that skill?
I highly recommend raid logs. In fact, I like raid logs with a RACI for responsibility. If your PM is not doing the raid log and they're not doing it well, get in there and do it.
Yeah. Is there anyone here that doesn't know what a raid log is?
I'm happy to explain.
Thank you, please.
A RAID log is a single spreadsheet that you put your
Risks,
assumption.
assumptions, issues, and decisions.
Decisions.
Right. And in the issues, you put in every single question you have. That gives you a place to put assumptions. It gives you a place to track every single thing that you need to find out or needs to be done. It gives you a place for your risks so that you have all the information you need. And then the decisions, it's like we decided we're not going to do that. You document who decided it. It saves you. It's not your requirements document, it's everything else.
Nailed it.
Okay. Do we get that? All right. Thank you very much. So let's move to our next question. Remember, we have to be fast. So, yep, the answer was C, documentation. So, a product team, I'm not going to move the leaderboard, the quiz yet, so we can have time to look at the questions because it's fast. So, a product team has 40 backlog items and 3 senior stakeholders who all believe their items are most important.
That never happens.
Only 3.
And all their items are the most important. There's none
Of
that are
course.
lesser.
Yeah. So, which technique is best suited to reach objectives? To reach objective stakeholder agreed prioritization. Look at it very well, and I let the quiz start. Remember, it's gonna close.
I've never been to Moscow, but I've been to Moscow many, many times.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, now people got. That's interesting. Okay. Majority
I meant
actually
to
got it
hit B,
right.
but it moved on me.
Thank you very much. So, virtually everybody, or almost everybody, selected the Moscow prioritization. So, I'm throwing it open. Who wants to tell us what the Moscow prioritization is? Cynthia, are you able to unmute? Or I don't want Thea to answer. So, who wants to tell us? Oh, must have. Thank you.
Should have.
Should have. Thank you.
Could have.
Thank you. And
Would have.
okay.
Very good. Very
Very
good.
good. Thank you, Cynthia. So, just maybe all the senior stakeholders, their items are in must have. How do you handle that?
Pairwise comparison. You take their key issues and say which one's more important, A or B, which one's more
Uh-huh.
important, A or C, which one's more important, A or D. B
Mm-hmm.
to A, you've already done B and A, so
Mm-hmm.
B to C, B to D, and C to D, and
Mm-hmm.
say how are these, which one ranks top now?
Okay.
But you can only
And
do it with a handful effectively, otherwise you're in trouble.
yeah, exactly. You also have to manage emotions and expectations when you're doing this, which is also very important, and play political, maybe.
Well, and
If
sometimes it's put it in the perspective of for the entire business. We know that they're
yeah.
important individually, but for the success of the business 5 years from now, which one's more
Hmm.
important?
Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you very
Hussey
much.
has his hand up.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So, what will happen if one of the key requirement for one of those priorities? Okay, let me rephrase that. What will happen if one of those priorities actually is dependent on someone else uh, um, priority be accomplished? Like those actually like interdependent.
Like
Yeah.
dependencies.
Hmm.
So how do
Okay.
we handle that, knowing that we already have a situation where three leaders are saying all of them are
Hmm.
priority? I'm
Yeah,
always
that
curious, you know.
yeah, that's one of the advantages of the pairwise comparison, because if one is a predecessor of the other, then it's more important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Higher priority will pull up any associated requirements priorities,
Mm-hmm.
or even the other way around sometimes, depending on what you do.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's move to the next one. The BABOK defines 6 knowledge areas. Is it 6?
It's 6 every time.
The BAs often confuse strategy analysis with requirement analysis and design definition. So, which activity belongs to strategy analysis, not requirement analysis? A. Specifying and modeling. B. Verifying and validating. C. Assessing the current state and defining the future state. D. Organizing and maintaining. All right, it's counting. Okay. Okay. Three, two, one, zero. All right. Oh, actually, people kind of got it right. Assessing the current state and defining the future state. People know their Babok. That's good.
Yes, they do.
Oh, thank you very much. So let's go. Strategy analysis asks where are we going and why. So it frames the problem space before the solutions or the requirements are defined. Now, according to the Babok, which technique is most appropriate for resolving this conflict and what's the conflict? Two stakeholders provide contradictory requirements. Both insist their version reflects the true business need. According to the Babok, which technique is most appropriate for resolving this conflict? And the quiz starts. Put this in a closed room to fight it out. Really, Cliff? God. So, they provide contradictory requirements. Oh, my answer is there already. So just pick it.
I was going to say the check mark was kind of
Yeah.
influential.
Yeah, well, we got that right. We understand. Thank you. You saw the answer. Let's move on.
No, you give it to the PM to work out. Come on. No, you hand it off.
There is
Yeah,
not one place in the Babok that it says hand it off to somebody else.
I wish there was.
But there
So
isn't.
the Babok emphasizes collaboration over escalation for requirement conflict. That's something important for us to also note. So let's move on. Now we're going again to our blind spots. Well, the question is already presented in your Menti. I'm sure you can see it. So, which area of your BA practice feels most in need of sharpening? I want it to be that at the end of this session, we're able to go back and say, oh, this is what I need to work on. This is something that's important to me that I think I need to possibly take classes on or even get a mentor on or ask questions about. Um, some of all these topics actually we've had sessions like weekly sessions. I remember the time we had an influencing without authority session. You can go back to our YouTube page to watch it. We're having a stakeholder session. Thea is taking that session, stakeholder communication. um we talked about, we've had some conversations about complexity and ambiguity. So maybe we need to start having sessions on documentations and even structuring requirements, so we can plan that subsequently. But take a look at yourself. What area of your BA practice do you feel you need most, like in you feel needs to be sharpened? And there's no right or wrong answer in this. So with what you've selected, if it's critical thinking and analysis, please and please let it not just be a poll that we're selecting. Go back and look for ways to improve this. Thank you. We move to the next. Yeah, we have someone for requirement architecture and more. So we can actually plan things like that. So please, again, we're open to your feedback. If there are sessions you want us to have, please either you send me a direct message on LinkedIn specifying the kind of sessions that you think would be helpful for you, or you reach out to Thea and would see what we can do to help you sharpen your saw in that particular aspect. So next question. What is one professional habit or skill you keep telling yourself that you will develop, but you have not yet developed it? We need to be honest. Many a times we say, "Oh, I'm going to learn how to build AI agents. Oh, I'm going to learn how to document requirements. Oh, I'm going to learn active listening. I'm going to learn like a bit of data analysis, or how to write requirements, things that I want to develop, I will develop, and we keep procrastinating. We keep saying we're going to do it, but we actually never do it. So be honest. What is that one habit you keep telling yourself that you will develop? Letting others lead. Some people say stakeholder communication, some say VBA, SQL, okay. Certifications, good. Cliff says to shut up sometimes, okay. Well, there are times we actually need to shut up. There are times we need that really. Challenge assumptions, very good.
I'd like to challenge this question. If
Yep,
you
please go
haven't
ahead.
if you haven't developed it yet, what's the root cause? Is it that it's a thing that you thought you needed a long time ago, but you really haven't found a need for it? For instance,
Hmm.
mine is SQL. I think it would be great to have, but I haven't had a need for it enough to really dive into it. Maybe I
Exactly.
don't really need to develop it, but
Hmm.
I want to develop the things that are going to be most impactful.
Yep, that's true. Letting others lead, negotiation, conflict resolution. I think we need to have a session on conflict resolution as business analysts. So that's also one important session that I'm noting down based on the feedbacks that we're getting. Thank you very much. All right. We're diagnosing ourselves now to know what the problem is, why we're not being the BAs we are supposed to be. So, thank you very much. We move to the next question. Now, calmly answer this. Think through it and answer it as calmly as possible. A colleague gives you candid feedback about how you ran a requirement session. Your first instinct is to feel defensive. What do you do next? You had a requirement session that was so possibly so amazing. You got feedback that, oh, you did great. And someone comes and tells you, oh, you didn't run that well. You should have done this way. You should have done this that way. In that particular situation, let's not forget that you're coming from a high where you've gotten positive feedback. And now you're getting a damning feedback. In that situation, it's justifiable when your first instinct is actually that you feel defensive. In that situation, it's justifiable. I personally think it's justifiable. But what do you do next in that situation? Okay. Some people say they reflect privately, then decide what applies, which is also good. Some people say they ask for specific examples and they create an action plan, which is also good. But again, why can't you just thank them, then quietly ignore it? Remember, other people gave you good feedback. What do you think?
They might have a good point.
Hmm.
It may be legit.
It might be legit. Yeah, that works. Thank you very much. Let's move on. I know we're not going to get to all our questions today, but we're doing, we're going good. Now, rank your sharpening priorities. Um, I put this as a word cloud, but you can just put A, C, D, like however way you want to rank it. Do you want to listen right now? Do you think you need to listen more deeply in sessions? That will be A. Do you think, or better still, do you think you want to ask better discovery questions, which is of more priority for you? And please take a screenshot of this particular slide and see because it also brings out things that we need to work on. Some of us struggle with active listening, um, even as BAs. Some of us struggle with critical thinking, with critical analysis, or even asking better discovery questions. Because, taking for example, you go to a discovery session and you can't even ask the right questions. If you can't even ask the right questions, then what exactly are we doing in that meeting? People would the meeting, they'll take over the meeting from you, and you don't get the requirements, or you don't get the information that you need. um some of us need to improve on our assumptions. um how do we manage it? Don't just, oh, I know this organization very well, I know their pattern, I know how they handle scenarios, I know how they do this in this particular situation. Assumptions, at times, if they're not validated, are very deadly, they're very costly. So, very, very important. Thank you very much for the feedbacks. Please, as you have ranked them, take a screenshot of this. And these are things that we need to work on as business analysts. We go on to the next, and we're going to sharpen our thinking now. Are we ready? We have just 10 minutes. Yeah, we never finish this. Okay. The project manager tells you there is no time for a proper discovery phase. The leadership wants a solution in 2 weeks. What is your most strategic response as the BA? There is no time for a proper discovery. The leadership wants a solution in 2 weeks. You can
You,
comply
you never
and
have time to do it right, but you always have time to do it over.
true. So you can comply and fix the gaps during UAT. Yeah. You can escalate to the sponsor before moving forward. Okay. You can document your concerns formally and proceed. Yeah, that's good. All right. So the most popular answer here is to negotiate a minimum viable discovery session. You can't go wrong having a discovery session. That's the truth, because you want to work based on fact. If you don't have facts, what solution are you giving to them in 2 weeks? So, when working on a complex problem, how often do you explicitly document your assumptions before proceeding? Be sincere. You're working on a complex problem. How often do you explicitly document your assumptions? Learn to always document your assumptions, by the way. So, how often? Someone says when things feel risky. Okay, almost never. I work from intuition. Well, that person needs to be careful. You don't ever work from intuition. That's very risky. You need to document it. Because even your intuition is an assumption, by the way. How often do you explicitly document? Yeah. So in this situation, it's always recommended that you always document. So the attitude is to always document. Let's try one more question.
A quick question, Esther, before you move on.
Go ahead.
I always wanted to ask, okay, we have been talking about documenting assumption, right? Can you kind of elaborate a little bit? And the reason behind it, if I'm gonna document something that I'm the only one that will really refer to it, I don't want to say what is the point, but I really wanted to understand why it is critical for a BA to document that.
Okay. Now I'm going to open the floor for anyone else that wants to answer that question. But one thing I'm going to say is, what exactly do we call an assumption? Now, when you're having like a discovery session or even a requirements session, there are some things that people infer, like they just maybe say it in passing. And it might align with the conversation, but it was not categorically said that this is what it is, like this is it in fact. That is a very risky assumption, maybe like I'm trying to ask, or we're working on a project, and I just assume that the bot that we're working on, an AI bot, is just going to be able to handle the new changes that I'm putting in. I just assume, because the bot has passed training phase and passed through different testing and all that, I just assume it's going to be able to handle the changes that we're making. That's a costly assumption that can shoot me in the leg. That's just one scenario, but I'm also opening it up. Let's hear what people say. Any belief that has not been verified, good. So we're actually going to end on this, but let's hear from other people. Bill says, I always add them to the process maps so that it is sure to be discussed. Yes, perfectly. So, what are our thoughts?
I think
Sometimes,
assumptions are like requirements. You got to verify them. If
yeah,
they're not true, you know. If they are true, you know. But until you have the conversation, you're on quicksand.
mhm. Sometimes you can surface different definitions of the same term, and it turns out to be two totally different conceptual entities.
Exactly. Because is that clear? Okay.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me just throw in our final question for the night. Developers propose a complex technical solution that solves the problem but will cost 3 times the original estimate. As the BA, what is your primary responsibility here? Okay. The developers propose a complex technical solution that solves the stated problem but will cost 3 times the original estimate. What is your primary responsibility here? To support the developers? Remember, you need to make everybody happy, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what we do.
So, what is your primary responsibility? Everybody's agreeing. Hmm. Okay. Okay, now I'm getting different answers. So let's talk through this in 3 minutes, in 2 minutes. What is your primary responsibility? I want a different person. Marcella or Trudy or Lena, if you want to say something in 1 minute, please. The general answer is actually to re-examine the original problem and to challenge the scope. So, okay, anyone can say what they want to say. Let me open it up.
well, it's uh, in it in its simplest form. The BA is not in charge of the technical implementation. And that technical implementation has its own complexities. It may be that that's the only way to successfully deliver because of the technical complications.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Or limited
Okay.
tools they're giving. There's all
Limited
kinds of
tools, yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
But if the developers just want to make life easy for themselves, how about that?
Well, then you need to bring it back and challenge that scope and see what else they're having fun with. Hey, we can build all of this with AI, but it's going to cost 3 times as much.
True.
All the more reason for asking a lot of questions. Sometimes
Yep.
it'll just inspire thought.
Mm-hmm. Get some of those techies to do an ROI.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Anyways, thank you so much, everyone. We had a great time. I had a great time, by the way. And I look forward to seeing you when next we meet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.